Step 1 of this tutorial is to lighten up my skin tone. I want this widow to be very ghastly and pale from worry, and what I'm going to do is mix some cream makeups. I am mixing a white, a black, and a brown. This little touch of brown is going to warm up the foundation so I don't look like a statue or like I'm made of stone. And this tip can work for darker complexions as well. If you're trying to lighten your complexion, I would suggest mixing a lighter version of your undertone with your foundation. For instance, if you're yellow, mixing a light pale yellow into your foundation will give you kind of a ghastly, paler complexion as opposed to the white, because if you add white, it's going to look ashy immediately. I also mixed my own custom contour color for this, and I just took a mixture of brown, black, and white as well until I found that perfect grayish color, you know, the gray taupey kind of color that works really well for these Halloween makeups. I do tend to mix my own contour color because mainly most of the contour colors out there are too warm and it just looks like bronzer when I put it on myself, when I don't really want that look. So, you know, it's always important to use color theory to mix things custom to your face. I like to apply my cream contour with a large flat eyeshadow brush, and what I like to do is draw a line and then diffuse the line by dragging the brush upwards and downwards from wherever that line is, whether it be on my nose or whether it be on my cheekbone. On to highlight, I believe I just used straight up white. Maybe I mixed a little brown in with it to make it an ivory. But yeah, this white cream is very opaque. And that's what we want for Halloween. We want drama. We want to be seen in the darkness as the ghost and the widow that we are. With a nice wet, soft makeup sponge, I'm going to blend that highlight down into the skin. Once the creams are blended, you want to go ahead and powder. I'm using that sponge again and pressing the powder into the skin. That's going to give it a lot more longevity. Moving on to the eyes, we're going to be building up a ghostly, smoky eye. And you want to grab all of your matte eyeshadows for this. You want to grab your matte browns, your matte blacks, your matte grays, your grayish, your beiges, your taupes. And you want to apply those into your crease and also start contouring your face on top of the other contour, because we need the drama. Fill in your brows in whatever shape butters your biscuit. I like this kind of dark color, dark gray, dark brown, dark taupe. Give me some drama, baby. And as Mick Jagger once said, paint it black. So I'm gonna add some black around the eyes using a bullet brush, mainly in the outer crease of the eye, and then I'm gonna use a nice fluffy brush to blend everything together. And if you spent 20 minutes blending, you're going to need to spend probably 20 minutes more. With a black liquid liner, I went ahead and added a wing to the top lid, and I also lined underneath my eye. And added copious amounts of black mascara, because black around the eyes just gives it that nice intense stare. And for the lips, I'm using a black liquid lipstick and painting that on. I like to start with the lips a little smaller and then sort of expand them out as I go and find the shape that I want. After popping on a quick pair of black lashes, I am adding a highlight. I like a light white gold highlight for pale skin. let's get into the skull making part of this tutorial. And basically what I have done is taken a candle that's shaped like a skull, which I bought from Target like 2 years ago, and I have stippled 5 to 6 layers of liquid latex onto the surface of the candle. This is going to replicate that candle's form and make it super lightweight. The surface is not going to be as smooth as if you made, say, a mold of something and cast it, but it gives you the general forms that you need for a fun little prop like a skull. You can do this technique for anything as long as it doesn't ruin the surface of whatever you're stippling the latex onto. But when you're removing it, you want to use a lot of baby powder and a brush, because latex will stick to itself. It's super sticky. And as you're peeling it off the surface, you want to make sure there's powder between the latex and the surface, because again, latex is sticky. Now we have a flimsy latex skull. What I'm going to show you now is how to reinforce the back using masking tape. So I like to take a strip, rip it in half, and then place that along the inside of the skull. The paint on the skull is super simple. What you want to do is take a dark gray acrylic and brush it onto the surface of your skull. I use an airbrush because that's what I use normally, and it's here and it's ready to go, but feel free to use paint and a paintbrush. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing with a coarse bristled brush. And what you do is you lightly brush a lighter gray on top of the darker gray to the high points mainly of the skull. This is going to give you a little depth, and it's going to bring out the texture of the sculpt and of the latex. I'm going to go in with a dark gray watered down acrylic paint and an artist brush and just define the teeth. Really apply that dark gray anywhere where I want a little more contrast and I want the details to pop. And since this skull is going in my hair, I want to add a little bit of a sheen to mimic the wig. So I sprayed on a silver metallic powder and just brushed that on. It's as good a time as any to get into some wig tips, how to work with cheap wigs. This wig here is from Amazon. I believe it was $13, and it smells like crude oil. I don't know. It's not pleasant, but it's also very shiny and slick looking, very synthetic. So to work with this wig, first I'm going to brush through the entirety of the wig and create a lot of static, because that's what happens in these synthetic wigs. Gonna trim up these bangs a bit because I like a shorter bang personally myself, and I'm using some hair scissors to gently feather cut the edges of the bangs. So for this hairstyle in particular, I wanted to have an updo, and it is kind of hard to make updos with these synthetic wigs. They're very slippery, so you want to create some texture. And a really good way to do that is to tease the hair. So I went ahead and clipped the bangs and a few of the tendrils towards the front of the wig up into a clip. And now section by section, I'm going to tease the ever-loving sausage balls out of this hair. And I usually start at the root, tease it towards the root, and then work my way down the shaft of the hair. And I'll do this in layers, in sections, all over the hair, all over the wig, and usually these synthetic fibers take it pretty well. And honestly, the hotter the mess the wig looks, the better I find they turn out. It's definitely kind of fun to get some of your rage out, you know. Despite all your rage, you're still not a rat in the cage after doing this one. Dumb joke, but here we are. And definitely at this point, you probably just want to throw the wig into the garbage can because it's not cute. But you're going to have to work it a little further. And what I like to do is smooth out some of the ratting, some of the teasing. And I do that by running my brush over kind of the surface and working some of the tangles out. I'm not going to work all of them out because that would be all the texture that I want for this wig to have. But just smoothing out the surface so it doesn't appear like a matted mess. And yes, this will take some time, so put on your favorite music and dance comb. That should be a sport. Dance combing. I have finally won the battle against the teasing, so now I'm going to style this wig. And I approached it in a lot of different ways. I started by pinning up kind of a half chignon, and then I decided I would just use a rubber band to pull half of the hair back. Then once I did that, I started pinning the hair just haphazardly around, and just making kind of a messy bun. And I kept it lower on the head because I knew I would be wearing a hat, and I knew I wanted some hair to cover a bit of the skull. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the widow. There's going to be a second tutorial coming soon that's an addendum to this, so keep an eye out for it. Otherwise, happy Halloween, and I hope you're all well.